Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and this representative, a former U.S. Army sniper, just exposes how badly the Secret Service messed up the security at Trump's rally. He goes on Jesse Waters, and what he has to say is absolutely wild. But before we jump in, we are sponsored by Colonial Metals Group. If you want to protect your wealth against inflation, you need to go with the experts who understand how to invest in gold, silver, and other precious metals. Now, let's go.
When you're doing a site survey and you're seeing this rooftop not that far away, why did it look like the counter sniper team was a little surprised?
You know, I can only speculate, and we'll have to wait until the investigation comes out, that they thought local law enforcement was potentially climbing up onto the roof when they saw a dark object on a light roof. But here's the issue.
Wait, you're saying maybe they misconstrued crooks for a friendly, for local law enforcement?
It's very possible. I don't want to speculate until the investigation is over, but the bottom line is that if you saw someone climbing onto a roof that you hadn't authorized any clearance on, it's got a clear line of sight. It's exactly adjacent to the shooting where the president was sitting, and you're talking about a pop shot, and you got people yelling, and there should have been comms. The minute that local law enforcement, who apparently had a rifle pointed on, there should have been an emergency frequent comms channel that they could have said, we have a shooter on the roof, shooter on the roof. Secret Service should have rushed the stage and immediately took the president and took him off, and then responded to the counter sniper. The shot should not have gone off. That is the failure in itself. You're supposed to be able to try and, the best security is when you go in and you're actually able to prevent an incident, not react to an incident. Even if you would have left a law enforcement officer's patrol car in that parking lot with the lights on, that could have been a deterrent. But when you have nothing that is actually showing force protection, you're encouraging this. Look, I'm not sure about who the individuals are on the individual detail Secret Service, but I can tell you under this Biden administration, the one thing I've seen is massive DEI hires. And I can tell you, when you primarily go after DEI, you end up with DIE.
So when you have these counter snipers waiting until 8 rounds are fired, what accounts for that?
To be honest
after
with you,
the first shot, you get a return fire immediately?
The minute that a shot rang out, they should have already been on scope. Your spotter should have already have called the distance if you hadn't looked at your range card, and you should have immediately engaged. Okay. There should have been no reason to have waited a single second. Now, I talked to Eric Trump after the incident. Eric and I are both gun enthusiasts. We both shoot long distance. That right there is a pop shot. But he did say, I've gone out with the CS teams, and they are one of the best. He knows the service detail that's with them. They are loyal individuals who actually do care about the president. I can say that was relayed to me. But the bottom line is this is a massive security breach. This is a huge failure. At negligence is at best. But we have to figure out why something within 200 yards. Think about this, Jesse, 200 yards. That means that an average rifle that holds 1 minute of angle would hold a 2-inch grouping if you just shot it straight off the deck, meaning on a platform. So now you're talking about 160, which is 1.6 inches is what its grouping capabilities are. The average head is what? 6 by 8, shoulder to shoulder is 20 inches, head to waist is 40 inches, and President Trump's a very large man. This is a shot that within 5 minutes I could teach you to make 9 out of 10 times. So this is divine intervention. This is the God having his protective hand and wearing Ephesians 6, the armor of God, over the president, because this is right here, a millisecond or a millimeter and change, and this isn't an attempted assassination. This is an assassination of a president.
If Trump turns his head back to face the crowd, that's your JFK moment right there. Trump just happened to turn, the bullet whizzes by him, grazes his ear. And the shooter, let's see, it's not going to matter on video, but apparently the shooter was, let's see, at his, that would have been, let's see, on his 8 o'clock. And if Trump hadn't faced in this direction, this side of his head would have a, let's see, small hole. This side of the head would have a much larger one. There would have been a huge exit wound, and someone screwed up badly. I think they knew that the guy was there. Now, I'm going to be nice to the Secret Service because they do a fantastic job. For the most part, the bodyguards for Trump immediately dogpiled on him. They did their jobs. Their job is literally to be the human shield. Y'all, times are rough. Record inflation is still not under control. We have a president who doesn't know what planet he's on, and the Federal Reserve continues to make dumb decision after dumb decision after dumb decision. You can gamble on Wall Street all you want, but if you want to diversify and protect your wealth, you need to look into my friends over at Colonial Metals Group. These amazing experts understand how to keep your wealth safe and protected from the volatility of our current market. And there's even a great deal for first-time accounts. Free gold and silver-backed IRA accounts, insurance on whatever precious metals you happen to buy for 5 years, up to $7,500 worth of silver, and a nice safe for you to keep all this good stuff in. So go take a look at their website, link in the description below, or call the phone number below so you can talk personally to Paul Stone, CEO, and his amazing team of experts to protect your wealth today. But if I'm running security for something, I'm not a military expert, although I love reading about military history. If I am running security and there's a big old rally with a flat top roofed building within decent shooting distance, I'm having some dudes on that roof. There's, according to the video, there's not too many other places where you could get up and take a shot. If I am running security, I'm at least looking at an aerial view before I make my full plans. You'd think someone would have figured this out. Apparently this slipped through somebody's net, and someone needs to be fired for it. So I'm actually going to run point for some of the anti-snipers. These guys aren't in a military situation. It's not, that's the enemy, you can go shoot the enemy. It's an American citizen who may or may not have a firearm on hand. You can't quite see if he does, and you can't confirm, and you don't want to essentially Derek Chauvin yourself. You need to at least wait until you have good confirmation, but someone, either the communication was bad, either someone didn't take the shot in time, or these snipers were just asleep on their jobs. 8 shots rang out. The shooter is now, left this mortal plane. But this story gets wilder the more I look into it. And then, if you notice closely, there's this theory running around that this woman was ready for the event. This woman had her phone out immediately after the first shot rang out. Her body language was nervous. The whole thing is just bizarre. This is a JFK level event, and I'm indeed thankful that Secret Service was ultimately able to do their jobs. But y'all, we're seeing something incredibly unique. And the aftermath of this has been insane. The left is admitting that they're okay with this. All right, you had Tenacious D celebrating a birthday on stage the other night, saying that next time, don't miss, as their birthday wish. You have Morning Joe Scarborough, being pulled off the air because he could not be trusted to say something insensitive about this assassination attempt. The left has gone off the rails, and we're starting to see which people really have these intrusive thoughts and really want this to happen. This assassination attempt, and even there doesn't seem to be a manifesto. The FBI can't seem to get into this guy's account. They couldn't even get into this guy's phone records. There is something fishy about this whole thing. So I don't want to peddle anything that's not true, but there's so many failures that I have to wonder, was this a failure or was this planned? I'm not saying it was, but man, oh man, so many failures, so many problems, so many weird things to nitpick. So y'all, I'm very glad that this assassination attempt was eventually thwarted, but the fact that it happened to begin with is just terrible on the part of local law enforcement and the Secret Service. This is a black eye to their good names. Granted, a lot of people were doing their jobs, but 8 shots rang out before countermeasures were involved. And this former sniper is exposing everything wrong with this situation. This is just wild. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed this segment here on Politibrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. And until then, y'all have a good one.